So welcome back to class, guys. How's everything going?
It's good.
It's good. Everybody had a good weekend.
Yes.
So this is sadly our last session. We've been able to, spend some time with each other, kind of figure out a little bit, figure out something new about each other. Hopefully, learned what other people, how they deal with anger. So just gonna go around and see if you guys had any situation which you use some of the cooling techniques. Can somebody give me an example of a cooling technique that we learned last week?
Well, last time I told you my brother messed up my room, and so I was helping my mom clean, and he did the same thing, but I kind of just ignored it and walked away.
So you took some time. So what other cooling techniques can we use?
Take some deep breaths.
Deep breaths.
Stay quiet.
Stay quiet.
Stay quiet.
Maybe imagine that you're somewhere else. Was that one of them?
Yeah, like imagine you're somewhere else. So you got upset with your brother because he was messing up your room, and you just walked away.
Well, this time I was helping my mom do like the weekend chores, just dishes, the kitchen, the living room, and then he was just being mean and leaving stuff when he saw us cleaning. It's like, come on now, like,
yeah,
you're a grown person, pick up after yourself, and but
how did that work?
I was still mad. It took me a little bit to cool down, but it was effective because we didn't argue or anything.
You didn't have a big argument after that.
Yeah.
So that's positive. What about you, Estella?
Still trying to think of a situation. I can't think of anything. Can you go on to the next person?
Yeah, I'll give you some time. What about you, Miss Maggie?
I just didn't get myself into any situations.
You didn't. You
I
avoided
just
all.
avoided. I just didn't. I just stayed out of it. I didn't respond. I didn't make comments. I didn't.
So
I
did you
just
have
remembered that if you can't say something nice,
Yeah.
Ida said this. If you can't say something nice, then don't say it at all. And I thought, the best thing for me to do is just not to say anything at all, because it'll just, stir up a confrontation, and all that does is make me angry. Then I'll have to think about all the things not to be angry. So
Yeah.
I decided not to, and so I just removed myself from anything that was going to be a bad
Negative.
situation.
How do you feel about that now, looking back? Do you feel that that was like the best choice? How do you feel regarding like?
Yes, I wasn't. I didn't do it in a way where they knew I was. Just walk away. I just stayed quiet and kind of, backed away from it. I didn't want to engage, and I didn't want to be angry anymore. And when I'm angry, I start to cry, and then it makes me angrier because I started to cry. And the reason why I started to cry is because I was angry. So it's just better not to get angry.
Yeah, just to avoid the situation overall. And then, later if you think about the actions or what you're feeling, you can still let that person know, when you're calm, like, hey, last time we had an incident, this is what happened, this is how I felt, because now you're able to think about your actions.
I think that's true, but the other people that I'm with, they need to come to this class too, because if I were to say, hey, this is how I felt, it would just start the confrontation all over again, because I take blame for my reactions, but they have reactions that fuel my reactions, so it's just better just to let it go.
Yeah, if you don't feel like you can talk to that person,
there's not a resolve.
Then just kind of
There's
avoid
no
it.
resolve, yeah.
What about you, Stella?
So I thought about So I got home from school, and my parents wanted me to practice golf. But I was tired, and I had a lot of work, and they said, are you going to practice today? And at first I was like, since you asked me, I'm going to say no. But then I took a step back and, didn't say anything. But then I confronted and said, look, I'm tired today. This is the reason. So I wanted to resolve it because I thought it would happen again. So I just said, can you maybe give me some time when I come home and not approach me right away? So it hasn't happened since. So
that's good. So you expressing your way, the way you feel, they've actually listened to your
I sometimes feel that way too, Stella. God, let me just walk in the house. Don't everybody want me to do everything as soon as I walk in the house? Just leave me alone.
Mm-hmm.
And you just want that 5 minutes.
Yeah.
That's that 5 minutes, and it's hard.
Yeah, and I think we have to, remind each other, like, to give each other space.
Yeah, because most of
especially
the
after
time,
work and school. No, go
because
ahead.
most of the time I'll react to it. I'll just get mad. I'm like, don't tell me nothing, or I'm not gonna do it.
Mm-hmm.
But
shut
the
down.
fact that, and now they, they kind of make jokes about it, or like, yeah, give Stella 5 minutes. But it seems to, kind of like I get irritated a little bit, but it just makes me laugh. Well, at least they know where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, we've learned to give our parents a little bit of space because we know how they react to us when we come in and we want their attention immediately, and they're just like, I just got home from work, and then it just kind of ruins everybody's mood because you're angry at them, and then you get angry, and then they get angry, and then all of a sudden everybody's angry or frustrated, and I just, to this week, I just like, good job. Just let it go. Just let it go.
One day at a time, guys. Did you have something you wanted to talk about? Or any comments you want to add, feedback to your classmates?
Well, I want to start off by saying that I really enjoyed the class or the sessions.
Do you like cheerleaders now?
I like you. Not all cheerleaders, but I like you. And hopefully, if we are having trouble, we can at least come to each other.
Especially
outside of here.
Yeah, you guys could definitely have a support group, amongst yourself out in school. Because, school's difficult. You have to deal with a lot of pressures, starting new classes, new people, new teachers. You're going to run into people that you just don't get along with. So you're going to have to figure out how to resolve that and not get yourself into more trouble, because that's just life. You're going to run into people you just don't get along with. You don't think the same way, so it's going to cause, friction, but you don't have to respond to every situation.
Well, I think too, like, for instance, Yadi has different friends than I do.
Mm-hmm.
But I like Yadi. But her friends may not think the same about me. So when Yadi's with her friends and I'm with my friends, it's just better not to try to be friends, because the peer pressure of, well, why are you talking to that girl? It just makes it hard.
I like to have my own friends, and if I say hi, please say hi to me. I'm not going to force you to have a conversation, because it could be that our friends don't get along, but I'll say hi or even smile at you. And
you guys still have
I've
free
learned
choice.
to get to know you, and I like the you. I don't know if I like the cheerleaders, but I like you. So I'm just saying that I really appreciate you guys opening up. And, just for me to find out that I'm not the only one dealing with my stress. And it could be different from your stress, but we're still dealing with it. So,
And I think it helps that you guys listen, and it doesn't seem like it's not a judging. It's just like, gives good feedback back. That helps.
So what's one thing that you guys have learned about yourselves during this session? Because I'm sure you've kind of picked up on some of the things that you've learned about yourself.
I learned that I got angry really fast for no reason, but just the last session, I've taken steps to kind of cool down before I go and overreact on something that was not a big deal.
Okay, what about you,
I've
Stella?
learned to communicate a little bit better and express how I'm feeling.
Maggie?
Learn to listen.
To listen?
Because what would happen is I would hear something negative and not finish hearing the whole story, and I would react to the negative instead of hearing the person out.
Yeah.
And so I just learned to listen, stay quiet before I said anything I thought about it.
Yeah,
I think about it.
I think that's very important. Listening you use it for a lot of different reasons. So being a good listener is a good idea. So let's see. I will pass out. It's like a post assessment. So kind of ask some questions about anger and how you feel about them now. So if you guys could take about 2 minutes to complete it. It's rated from 1 to 5. So the strongest, if you agree with it, it's gonna be number 5. If you don't agree with it, it's gonna be number 1. So I'll give you guys some time to complete those post assessments.
And this is now, right?
Yes, how do you feel about that question now? So like I said, I'm always available if you guys need anything, and need to talk to me, if you feel like you want, different type of sessions, if you need homework, if you need help with your homework, if you need any type of assistance. I'm in the front office, like I said. I'll be there pretty much all day, and I'll try to be out during breaks. I'll try to be out, not just in the counseling office. And then as a token of my appreciation, I do want to give you guys lunch vouchers.
Oh, thank you.
For participating.
We can go out to lunch.
I know, you guys could use it and go out to lunch. So like I said, if you guys have any questions, you could just stop by anytime.
I want the whole thing.
Yeah, it's fine. Okay?
Okay,
Thank you guys. You guys did an awesome job.
You're
Hopefully.
Miss Saucedo.
Thank you. Can you see the pen? Sorry. Thank you. Have a great day, ladies.
We're friends.